Alrighty. What I want to do is I want to do a slow motion. And I was going to make a video out of this, and I probably will. Maybe I'll take this and put it into a separate video of how I do my tatting. And I'm going to draw them big here. This is an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. And let's put a sheet under here. All right, and I'm going to draw them really big or fairly large. Maybe I should zoom back in one, so maybe I came out one too much. Plus. Because Janet and Ann, Hallie K says, I broke my collarbone in first grade, fell off a slippery snow-covered slide. Oh my goodness, Hallie K, be careful. Okay, so I usually start, well, let's just do one as an example first. I start and I say figure eights. And when I first started them, I just do them. I just kind of do them doodly, not really thinking about what I'm doing. But Janet and Ann Laura were saying that theirs weren't turning out the same as mine. And so I started thinking about exactly how I'd go about doing these. And I'm going to draw it big here. I do a figure eight. Of course, I got the dry one. I start out here and I do an upper loop of the figure eight and come down and do the lower loop. And that not all my loops aren't all the same. If they're not this, I try to make them the same, but if one is smaller than the other, oops, not all flower petals are the same. Then I come and do a horizontal figure eight, and I come from the bottom loop, and I go over to the right loop, and I come in here and do the left loop, and then I come back through the center, and I go down to another one, and I just keep doing that. The upper loop, come down and do the lower loop, around, do the right loop, around, do the left loop, around, and just keep moving. Just, you know, they don't have to be perfect. My flowers are not all perfect. Believe me, there's nothing perfect about what Meri does. So, and sometimes this is still the upper, but you can see it angles over that way. But I'm kind of turning a corner too. So, and then this is the horizontal, and I can't really go back down this way. So sometimes I just turn my page and just carry on. This is the upper one. See, I turned my page so it's upper. It would be horizontal if I was this way, but I turned it. So it's upper, and then the lower, and the right, and the left. And you just keep going like that. Sometimes it'll go off of the page. And just keep going. Pretend that you made that loop and come around that way. And that's kind of how I do that. So now if I want to do a border, like on those envelopes, I do a border. Now I'm going to kind of go smaller. And upper and the lower and the right and the left, and then I just bring it down. Now you can make your flowers close together, or you can leave space in between them. Come down that way and do the upper and the lower and the right and the left. Bring it down, the upper. And I repeated that. I brought this line down, but when I did that circle around, I actually did a double line there. And the lower and the right and the left. Bring it down, the upper, the lower, the right, and the left. And you just keep going. And in fact, you get so. Now, instead of trying to do it horizontally, I seem to work better if I turn my paper. and come down and upper and lower and right and left, upper and lower and right and left, upper and lower. Oops, it's going to go off of the page and left. Now, if I'm doing the tree, I start up and I just do one up in the tree, upper and lower and right and left. But instead of trying to bring that line down like I do here, I actually start on another level. And then I just do 2 or 3, depending on how much space I have. And then I just start another level. But it's the same concept. It's upper and lower and right and left. And you can actually bring this line out if you want. And you can actually start with this line out if you want to. And I just kind of build them in there in the space. And just kind of, and you do this so much that, you know, you just kind of get a feel of it. Or I do it so much, I don't even think about it anymore. And most of them, you know, are just really just doodles. Let's do another level here. Yeah, they need another one in here. So, and then what I liked about when I do the envelopes, I love those stars where I just put a circle there and I draw what I call the cracked ice and I just do lines like that. And then I'll make another one up here maybe. And I think those really, I just kind of like that on a winter scene. I kind of think, oops, don't go out on that ice, Mary. It's cracking all over the place here. And they're kind of like star lines that are stars. And then, you know, I like the diagonal lines. Just draw diagonals. And what I like about these, let's just draw a whole bunch of diagonals here. I'm just scribbling on this page. I'm not trying to do anything beautiful. What I like about these, I'll show you here in a minute. Let's get them in there. What I like about them is the lines in the corners here meet, like the X here, like where they meet. I like to put with my fine liner dots in here, and it kind of forms a little flower in the intersection, and that really kind of makes it pretty. Now, before I started doing that, I was putting like a dots in the center. You can do that too. Or you can put dots on, you know, here and here and here and here. You can play around with the dots. But I kind of like these here. To me, they look like little flowers in the intersection, and I've been using those a lot. So I hope that kind of explains how I do those. Just go real slow here, Mary. Just do the upper and the lower and the right and the left. There you go.